Well, there we have it, folks. If you're anything like me, as the evenings start to get colder, you wake up in the morning and you're starting to think about frost. You start thinking about all the jobs you got to get done before winter. Where I live, I get about 1 meter of snow, and that's probably an understatement. All this debris, all these sticks and branches and stumps, all of this will be buried for months and months until spring if I don't get to it now. And so that's why I was out here today, taking care of at least one of the chores I've been meaning to. I was very fortunate today to have some help with the equipment, and if you have the right equipment for the job, as many of you know, it makes the job quite a bit easier. Very fortunate to have this. This right here on the front of my tractor is an Eastonmade Grapple. This thing's sort of a do-all tool for me. It does double duty with firewood. You can use it to scoop rocks. I use it to move logs, and obviously I use it to move brush. This thing's no joke, that's for sure. It's certainly heavy duty. As you can tell, the thickness of the steel is gonna hold up, that's for sure. Now, I use this in all kinds of situations, as I mentioned, but today I really liked it for a few reasons. Having independent clamping force is kind of nice when the debris gets uneven. So if this side has a small end of a log, this side has a big one, and it's got a hook in it, you can put equal force regardless of the shape of it. Now, down below as well, I was scooping some material along the ground with dirt in it. Well, the nice open sides here allow you to scoop the dirt, but then as you lift it, it'll still fall out the bottom, taking just the debris up to be dumped. On the back here as well, I like this. I like how it's solid there. If you've ever driven a tractor, you know that you can't really see that well, especially when that grapple's down on the ground and you're trying to pick stuff up. So I don't want to have a stick come through and hit my radiator on my tractor. So it's nice to have that as a solid piece so that when I'm pushing material, you don't get a straggler going right through that way. Aside from that, I was doing some back dragging with the tine sticking down below the bottom of the grapple there. And because this amount of the grapple sticks below that bottom piece there, it often acts as like a rake when you're back dragging with that pointed down. And that's kind of nice because you often get a little bit of debris and you don't quite pick it up on the first go around with the grapple. So you just back drag it into a pile if you need to, and then you can pick it up and move it again. This thing was hooked up to my third function kit. That's on my loader inside my tractor, and that's by Lane Shark. Now this unit here, if you're wondering, this is a DK40 by Kioti. This is a 40 horsepower tractor. I've got rear filled tires, and just prior to putting on the landscape rake, I had a big blue barrel on there just to help as I was pushing all that weight with the brush. That was a barrel filled with concrete. I estimate that barrel weighs around 1,000 pounds. And so that certainly allows me to get some good grip down on the ground to offset the weight when I'm picking up heavy stuff on the front. And this thing here, this is a real handy tool. I don't know how I got along without one for so long. This is a landscape rake, obviously 3-point hitch landscape rake. This is 7 feet wide, so it's just a little bit wider than my tractor. It makes sure that it fully cleans the trails as I drive down them. This one also has some guide wheels back here. And so what that will allow you to do is to make sure that as you go up and down hills, this will not dig in and take material out. Instead, with these guide wheels, it'll actually maintain the height, knocking down high spots, filling in low spots. I really like this thing. It gets an awful lot of use. Now this model, as I said, 7 feet wide. It also has the ability to tilt left and right. Should I say swivel left and right? And that's with this hydraulic control. Now you can get it without this, and it still will tilt or swivel. But instead you'll have a pin back here. You can see all the holes, right? So it'll move this way. With me, I've got the hydraulic control, so my rear remotes control inside the tractor allows it to go this way, straight, that way, and anywhere in between. So I like that, moving it on the fly. And finally, what would I do without this unit here? This thing has seen its day, that's for sure. It's an old Takeuchi TB15 mini excavator. When I bought this thing, it was in need of some repair, a little bit of maintenance, and I gave it all of that and a paint job. I am very happy with this. I really enjoy using it. It's certainly a reliable unit. There's no electronics on it. It's, I think, a 14.5 horsepower Yanmar diesel on there. It's not the biggest machine in the world, but it's perfect for odd jobs around here. Now, this attachment I built recently, this root ripper, I'll call it, just allowed me to get out in the shop, do a little bit of welding, and well, it's held up very well. So if you want to see that build, I'll put the video at the end of this one. But I'm very happy with it. It took out those stumps quite easily. However, the stumps were dead. I think if you had a big tree and it was freshly cut, you'd probably give yourself a workout with that thing. It just needs a little bit more weight, that's for sure. But it's still 1.5 tons, so it gets the job done, just not on the massive trees. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for me here today. I'm going to keep at her. As you saw, those stumps had to come out of the ground. I'm going to get that grapple back into action and just move them out of the way. And then I'll be on to the next chore. Before long, I'll be out here on the skidoo. I'll be out enjoying the cold weather. And I'll be dreaming of days like today, so I better enjoy today. Do me that big favor, if you did like this video, give her the old like-a-roo. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.